Alright. What up, people? It's your boy DJ Kilo.
Mel TV.
And we here with a new episode 3. Something different, something new. I don't think anybody ever touched on this one before, but I got somebody here y'all haven't seen in a while. I think y'all forgot that, she was alive maybe. But introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? This is Kay, the creator, cinematographer, video production. Yeah, we're making movies.
So, I know how long you've been doing this, but tell the people how long you've been doing this.
Dang. So I first picked up a camera in 2011. So about 12 years.
Pretty fresh.
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of count business-wise, since 2015 or so. I'd say business-wise, living off this shit like that. Since then, so that's 7 years, 8 years.
7 years. All right,
but officially 12, actually owning a camera.
So where did you go to college for? Where did you go to school for it?
So technically I didn't go to school for it, but I did discover it in school. So I ended up going to Southern Connecticut State University. That's in New Haven. And I took a film class. Pretty much I was looking around yo, what they got here? Because I need to switch my major. It wasn't working. I was trying to do nursing, healthcare stuff. And I'm like, what kind of stuff they got here that I would enjoy and can make money from? So they had a film class. I was like, let me give that a try. See, and from there I saw what different people had, and I just bought the same equipment. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I just went out there and started hustling, pretty much.
And you started have you worked with any major big people since you've been in the field with the film and whatever?
It's crazy because honestly, from the beginning, from when I was still in Connecticut, first year out, somehow end up getting connected with DJ Craig G, the biggest.
Oh, just taking videos or taking pictures?
So it was both, but I guess initially you could say pictures. I was doing nightclub photography. I hooked up with Gimme Party, and he was working with DJ Craig G, and so we would go out to Craig G. He had parties in Springfield, Massachusetts. You know what I mean? Hartford, New Haven. He had different areas on lockdown, so we would just go to his parties, and he would bring people. Honestly, I met Jim Jones back in the day, before I started working with him. Now, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I don't know, man. I can't even, maybe every rapper that came to Connecticut for their show or whatever it was.
Can you give us a tiny bit of list of rappers that you worked with, you shot some videos for?
So,
it's an understatement, man.
Jim Jones, Jadakiss, Papoose and Remy, let me see, CeeLo, Nas, Nas was a big one. Shoot.
And hold on, the Nas thing.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get hooked up with the Nas thing? Because I remember a while back you were saying you was working for Mass Appeal, and that's his label, right?
Yeah, that's his label. So the funny thing is, see, a lot of the stuff people don't realize that you just gotta be in the right room, you gotta be at the right place. So I wasn't even working for Mass Appeal, honestly. I had a friend that worked for Mass Appeal, and he was just like, pull up. So I will pull up almost every day. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, just come through, and just be in the room. And so what happened was they would go out to shoot. They'd just be like, yo, grab a camera. So I grabbed the camera, you know what I'm saying? And we ended up shooting Eric B. and Rakim, you know what I'm saying? We did that. That was dope. And Mikey Likes It Ice Cream for the hip hop, I think it was the 20th anniversary at the time. So Dave East, just so many Fabulous.
So when you shoot with them, do you get to I ain't gonna say hang out, but do you get kick it around them? You know what I mean? Get to chill, whatever the case may be and shit.
Yeah. It definitely depends on what the environment is, because it could be a music video, it could be an interview, it could just be on some content creation. But definitely for example with Nas, that's his was in his offices. You know what I mean? In Wayno's studio.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so before it, you know, we just there chopping it up. But even before we start filming, like that's their home, that's their place.
Yeah.
So you know, they in there doing what they do. So like that was definitely cool to be able to just have a conversation, even besides, you know, working and shooting or whatever.
Who was the worst one to work with?
The
Not
worst
wor-
person?
Not the worst one, but like the complicated one, like picky.
I mean, I never. I mean, I don't know if I want to throw on it. I will say, it was a funny incident happened once where we was working like Omarion's team came through, and it wasn't even like that Omarion or nothing. It was more like somebody's mans was mad because I wasn't taking enough pictures of them. And I was like
he was mad for real.
yeah, it's like, I mean, I have to try, like, I don't want to disrespect nobody, but it's like, man, it's like, you, like, who are you? Like, you not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not about it. I don't even know who you are. So I'm here to, you know, capture the fun or whatever, but you can't, you know, that was a little interesting.
Yeah.
But what I will say, like, Jada, Nas, all of them are so respectful.
Yeah.
So respectful. You know what I mean? Like, I never had an issue.
Yo, y'all tapped in. We need an interview with y'all, son.
Never had an issue,
RollUp
never
podcast.
been disrespected, never felt away. I feel like, you know, just me being a young woman, like, I feel like they definitely
They
took
respect
heed
you
to
as
that,
a
like,
woman,
looked
as
at
you
that,
should,
like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
she in the room with all these dudes, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been showing, like, mad love and respect.
Okay.
So I don't want to go too far down the road, but because we could go back. What was it like working with Spike? And explain to the people what you was doing with Spike.
Who didn't work with Spike Lee?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, could you ask me? And I'm like, it's just like, I be doing what I do, and a lot of times, I don't really remember right off the bat, because I don't really sit there and think about it too much. But Spike Lee, that was a good one, man. Like, I was working with 40 Acres, that's the name of his company, 40 Acres in
Alright, so I know you worked with a lot of different people, big, small, medium, but what was it like working with Spike Lee? And explain to the people what you was doing with Spike Lee. And well, fuck that up. Oh, fuck that up. Alright, hold on. Now we're gonna start over because I felt like
Just start the whole thing
I was
over.
tongue twisting.
Let's just start this whole thing over.
Nah, we got too much good stuff to start over.
From the top?
Hell no.
We gonna do that.
Alright, so let's go.
It's a video.
We're gonna just start. Alright, so listen. I know you was working for Spike Lee. What was it like working with Spike Lee and his team?
Yeah, so I often forget, you know, because I done been so many places, but working with Spike Lee and his company 40 Acres and a Mule, that was like really a great time in my life, you know what I mean? I will say, like, they push you, you know, that's a real good thing. Like, you know, we'll be on set 12 hours, you know.
So what you was filming when you was working with him?
So pretty much I was like the content person. I was doing all the behind the scenes pictures and video. And sometimes I'm like, dang, it sucked because like with a lot of these companies, they just want documentation, internal documentation. So that's why you never really see, you might see me post being there, but I can't post the actual footage that I took. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm like, that, you're gonna use it someday for something, because you know, they just gotta document what they do. It's probably gonna end up in a documentary or something. But like, no, that was so inspiring because it was like, you know, they literally, I got to like shake his hand multiple times, talk to him, you know, and I'll say like, he's a bit intimidating, you know, I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, cause he's a serious guy, but.
He looks like it, like we said.
Yeah. But as I
Big productions, man.
began to do this work, I understood why like a lot of professionals are like that, because you around so many people and a lot of them, you know, are not really about their shit, and you need everything to run smooth. So it's like you kind of gotta, you can't be everybody's friend. That's kind of like, you know, with like when you got kids, you can't be your kid's friend. Like I hate to have that analogy. I'm not a kid, but at the end of the day, you get it. Like you gotta be stern in some ways, but you also are a nice person. You know what I'm saying? So I understood like you gotta have that balance and make sure people doing what they do. sometimes you feel too comfortable, and I've seen it happen. And then people don't do what they gotta do. So he's on it. He's one of them people professional. He's on it. He gonna make sure that he gets what he needs out of it and out of you. So I would say they definitely pushed me. I was working hard. I was sweating. They had me. So if y'all remember, back a couple years, She's Gotta Have It 2 came out.
And that was on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Yep, I remember
so
that.
you could see me in that. I'm in it.
Yeah.
So they were filming an episode. They had me put on the purple shirt and everything because they was having a block party for it. And you know he loved Prince. So every year he do a block party, and he decided to incorporate the block party that he already does anyway in an episode of She's Gotta Have It too.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, that's a remake because he did She Gotta Have It back in the day in like the 80s, I think, like 80s. He did She Gotta Have It this year. He did a remake. So anyway, you'll see me in the crowd like I was just getting photography and video clips. I didn't have a drone at the time. They had me going up like 10 stairs to go to the roof of a building. I'm running like not no elevator. I'm running like up the stairs, bro, just to get like a wide shot of like the whole stage and all the people. Like they shut down the street. You know what I mean? It was at I think it's called Brooklyn Navy Yard or something like that. It's an area it's a big area. A lot of different events happen there, and it was just a swarm of people. So I needed to get that shot. So it was like, you ain't got a drone, like you gotta run to the top of the building, like you know, you do what you gotta do for the shot. So.
Nah, I remember. Yeah, you got it.
Now you do videos for like upcoming artists, like if they want to like book you, like if like say somebody doing music and they want to book you for like a video shoot, a photo shoot, how can they
budget better be right.
How can they shoot? How can they reach you?
Took the words right out my mouth. So
you talk your shit. That's what you here for.
At this point in time, definitely need the bag. You know, back then when I first started, I was actually trying to I was hitting people up. They ain't believe it.
And she ain't talking about a wallet. She's talking about a bag, like a duffel. You heard that bag? You heard?
A budget. Like know what you want to do, what you want to spend, how you want to spend it. Have some common sense, some knowledge.
Just come correct when you hit her up.
If you call her phone and you don't know what you're talking about, she gonna give you a real lesson real fast.
How can they reach you?
I mean, you can reach me on Instagram if you want to check me out. But I always say, like, as far as business stuff, like, hit my website. You mean? Go to my website.
What's your website?
kthecreator.com. Email me.
Not with a C, but with a K.
With a K, K-A-Y. You know, you could put it at the bottom of the screen. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, man. Like you just at this point, I don't really work with a lot of upcoming artists unless it's like unless they have some type of label behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like you know, I understand it's hard out here, but you want to really shoot a quality video, you gotta have a comma in that number. You don't do no $500 videos. Not even $1,000.
And that's because she's gonna give you what you're supposed to have out of a video. Like she's
I see where we at, right?
She's trying to give you a good
I see where
video,
we at, right?
Professional video. So like,
big green
do
screen.
you get a lot of emails, a lot of like, basic business emails from a lot of big artists all the time? Like, or are you like now you're gonna say the top of the list, but are you like a known popular person for what you do?
Yeah, I'm definitely known for what I do. But I will say, like, the type of work I'm doing now, though, is not music videos.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No.
What you do if you want me asking?
Yeah, so I do a lot of, like, for example, I do some behind the scenes stuff, right? So she had a music video. So people I'm connected with, work with the labels. The label, like that's another thing. It's like, most of the time, you're gonna get contacted by like a label or like the manager and shit. It's not like the artist hitting you. You know what I mean? Unless you kind of have like that relationship with the artist or whatever. But at the end of the day, most of the time, it should be management. It shouldn't be really the artist like, calling you or whatever. So it was really cool to do like some behind the scenes video work for her. But most of my money, I say I make off of doing like documentaries. I work with a lot of corporate companies more so. I do music videos still here and there. I just did one actually the other day for an artist out in New Haven, Hayes, because I felt like I was going home for Thanksgiving and everything. I hadn't really done a music video in a little while, so I said, let me, go out there and do it. But it's not really something that like, I'm not doing that all the time.
And explain to them a little bit more what you mean by like corporate, because I know you have done work for Amazon before.
We did. Well, I'll tell you what I did just the other day, because honestly, it's harder for me to think of back about what I did years ago. But so the company that makes the Clover machines for small businesses to take payments, cards and stuff, is called Fiserv. So they just did a back to business event. We went to their campus. Yes, campus. Like, these corporations is not just one little building. Inside, they have a design where, you know, when you go to a concert and they have like them 50 feet LED screens. So they had two like 40-foot LED screen panels, and they was giving away $10,000 to each to 3 small businesses, and then a bunch of other prizes. They partnered with Rutgers University, had the chancellor in, you know. So pretty much what my company had to do is we had to do like a live action filming where you see on the screens what's happening right now, because they had like 4 floors, and so the event was on the bottom with all the, like, you know, hella important people, and then all the employees and everything was on the top. So the employees need to be able to see. They can't see the ground floor, so that's why we had it on the screens. So it was like a live 4 camera filming, and then we had to do interviews of like the winners and the chancellor. And then they had another room with like 50 small businesses that use the Clover machine, and we just had to capture all that. And then a lot of times too, you don't even have to do like a full edit. We had to do what you call a VNR, a video news release. That's when you take all the like best footage, 10 seconds here, 10 seconds, put it on one video, and you send it out to the press. So the press can make their own video when they do the write-up, and you know, they have VNR goes out to the PR people pretty much, and they do like, you know how you see clips on the news or an article. That's what that's used for, and then we just get the bag. So
That's what's up.
So have you been to any like have you had any invitations to like any big like celebrity parties, birthday parties, Christmas party, Thanksgivings, like?
Big celebrity parties.
I ain't gonna say big celebrity, but you know, known people, good name people.
Not off the top of my head. I can't really think of no parties right now. Yeah, I can't really think of no parties. But I think what you was talking about when you said Amazon, you meant Google.
Yeah, it was Google. See what I'm saying? Google.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, alright. So yeah, we went to Google. We flew out to San Francisco,
That's what it was.
and shout out to KUU Productions. I have to throw that out there because, so I do 2 things. I have my own company called Gold Standard Productions, and I take on productions that I produce. Then I'm also a DP, director of photography, and other people can hire me to be a part of their productions. So a lot of times too, I'm working, partnering with other people, and that's how film is. You know what I mean? So a lot of directors are hiring me, producers are hiring me, and so I got hired to go out to Google, and we did another internal event where we shot, you know, their event that they had going on there. They flew out a bunch of executives from like all over the all over the world that work for Google to come, you know, talk about certain internal things. So like that was really fire to do. And then I'm going back. Last year, I did the Leading Women Defined conference, and that's Deborah Lee. She was the CEO of BET back in the day.
Okay.
So, you know, she has her own award ceremony that she does, bringing in Fortune 500 women from, you know, all over. Issa Rae, she was awarded. They give an award every year, a Butterfly Award. So she was awarded. It was really dope to meet Issa Rae, to capture her.
Have you ever got an award?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever received a reward?
I've gotten awards before. I've gotten a couple awards.
Name some of the awards you got before.
Y'all about to kill me with that, cause I ain't even. I can't even. I know. Smooth. You cut that part out. But no, I mean we won a bunch of stuff like with our films, like best short film. Right now I've only really done short films. I haven't done a feature yet, but the black definitely, edit this shit. Give me a second. The Roots. Alright, so we definitely won like best short film, and this past summer we were featured at the Roots picnic. So like that was really cool.
The Roots, what is that like? Which one? A group?
The Roots, they throw a festival every year in Philadelphia, and it's called the Roots Picnic.
Oh, okay.
So it's a combination of actual like festival, the stage, like WizKid was there, Mary J. Blige was there, Summer Walker was there, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah, Papa. I never been there, I never heard of him.
Yeah, just like a bunch of artists. And then at the same time, it's like festival grounds, right? And they have different tents and different installations where companies, whatever, sometimes it's just some backdrop and people taking pictures, or they might have a game, or like whatever the case may be. Then there's like mad food, drinks area, and then they had an area to screen the films. So like, that was nice. That was a 2-day event. It was hot, but it's nice to be like recognized,
Yeah.
in that way. So
Have you done any other interviews?
any other like people interviewing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a couple like back in the day, but I don't do a ton of interviews yet, but I've had a couple.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you got any I heard you say something about Jimmy. So what you doing with Jimmy right now?
So, y'all know, or if y'all don't know, I work on his show, that broadcasts on Revolt. It's called The Drip Report. And then right now, we just working on some content. You know what I mean? I can't get too much in detail with it, but I'm definitely working with him on producing some content, some shows and stuff.
Now, for people like me and Kiyo coming up doing this podcast, what kind of information you can give us to keep going where we going, or that can help us pursue or get a way to get next to like right people, like, or how I'm trying to say it, but.
So, I definitely say like network for sure. Like just get in rooms like and talk to people, and don't let anything stop you.
Yeah.
Cause that's a lot of times is people want to do stuff, but it might be anything like, oh, this happened today. Like you might wake up and shit just not going right. Don't not go because shit ain't going right. You know what I mean? You got a flat tire. Somebody getting on your nerves. You gotta pay a bill. Whatever the case is, just stay focused and do what you plan to do. And when you get there, cause mind you, I used to drive from Connecticut to New York and New Jersey on a damn near daily basis before I moved out here. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'd be like, dang, I'm gonna be stuck in traffic. I don't got no gas money. I ain't do this shit with money. Like I came here with no money. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you gotta get here, you gotta get in the room, and you gotta talk to people. And then you just gotta keep producing, keep coming out with your podcast. And the traction is gonna come. It'll start off slow, but you just gotta keep doing it, because a lot of people stop right before they're about to blow, and they don't realize that at any moment they could,
Yeah, it takes one particular video. Yeah, yep, you're right.
So that's definitely the advice I would give, is just to stay focused, don't stop, keep producing. Just follow those steps and you'll be just fine.
Have you ever attended the BET Awards or anything like that?
I haven't attended the BET Awards, but that would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be dope. Hopefully I get to go to the Revolt Summit too. I would like to definitely shoot that.
You ever did shooting for the summer jam when they be doing it during the summertime?
Yeah. So
I know that should be lit.
That was actually one of the first things that I did when I came out here. So I'll tell you a short story real quick. When I first started, my brother and his best friend, they wanted to do music. You know what I'm saying? And so I wasn't managing them, but like I kind of came off like some of the things I was doing was a little bit like managerish. It was like I was looking for opportunities pretty much, because I knew their opportunities was gonna be my opportunities. So I found this like showcase in North New Jersey. Long story short, was like, yo, let's go. Submitted. We paid. We got dancers. We went up there and did it. Came with my camera. I filmed everything. I ain't just film my performance. I filmed everything. Then the promoter for the event, his video person, MIA. He was like, yo, you got any footage you can make a recap? Long story short, made a recap. We won, by the way. We won. We went there, took the trophy, took first place. I got a job after that. Another company he was working with, they was a sponsor for Summer Jam, Hot 97 Summer Jam. So now, right, he needs somebody to go there and take pictures and video of them. Mind you, they're sponsors, so you bring the truck. I don't know if y'all ever really been to Summer Jam, but bring the truck. They giving out shirts and they whatever. So I got to go. And I knew somebody at Hot 97 too, which was the funny part. So I started walking around backstage, blah blah blah, like, you know what I mean? Found the room that the Hot 97 video team was like in. Took a shirt, put that shit on, act like I was working with them when I was just there with the other niggas that was a sponsor. So I, you know what I mean? And then I started going into the other rooms, the VIP rooms, niggas, and I'm like, Tea Party. I'm like, you see this shirt? You tell me nothing. I was in the VIP.
Bully your way to the side. You bullied your way up in there.
Drinks. You know what I mean? Cause all I had to do was make sure that I had the shots for them. They not monitoring everywhere I'm at. Like the stadium, MetLife or whatever, that shit big as hell. So I'm walking around like I like just looking around, finding my way. And a lot of times I just take pictures. Yeah, so I just walk around, just like take a picture of somebody. That's a good way to network. Just like, can I take a picture of you? Or you take a picture if it's a nice candid, and then you go over, you show them it after. Oh, that's hot. So I'm gonna send you that. Oh yeah, give me your number, give me your email, or even just Instagram. Then now you got their contact.
You think it'll be a day, any day possible, me and Kill better pop up like on somebody like a spot we can pop up like an artist is, we can just pop up and catch footage of without having, they won't get mad about it or whatever, like, nah, we ain't doing that right now?
Yeah, I mean, most people are cool. Again, it depends on the environment. Like, if it's a video shoot or, I mean, most of the artists that I work with, we have a pretty good relationship. If I felt like they might be offended, I'll just ask them, or they'll let us know, like, yo, this is a closed set. Ain't nobody here, but we definitely be having, like, behind-the-scenes people and stuff coming in, doing footage or getting coverage. If you feel like, yo, want to get an interview, whatever the case, like, yeah, like, most of the time, they don't mind, and if they feel like they don't want it at the time, you just go walk away. Yeah.
What was it like working with CeeLo Green?
CeeLo's cool. CeeLo's
Kinda look like him.
yeah, like
You look like him.
he had he had a whole custom like Gucci outfit. I got sent
Yeah, I
you
seen
the
that.
clip.
I seen that. Yeah.
I was like, damn, bro. Nigga was
Where
came
mine
with a
at?
shirt.
It was like a Gucci
Yeah, where
like
mine
church
at?
like
Sure.
one of the church like
Whole
clothes like
suit type
like
shit.
different.
Hella different.
And where'd you work with him at? Out here?
Yeah, we shot in it was actually in New York City. And I gotta shout out Tone Trump because really Tone Trump worked with CeeLo. He brought CeeLo.
And who's Tone Trump?
So man, Tone Trump, man, the biggest. He's an artist. He out of Philly.
Can we get an interview?
Yeah.
He
Tone
was
Trump, where you at?
he was like heavy world star. You know what I'm saying? Like he was one of them first artists that was like viral on getting posted on World Star, big gangster. But good guy. He do a lot for his community. You know what I'm saying? He's Muslim too, so he do a lot for the Muslim community. Righteous guy, always looking for the betterment of our people. Haven't spoken to him in a while, but definitely big connector. And he did a whole album with CeeLo. You know what I'm saying? And then they were shooting the videos or whatever. And again, like I was doing the behind the scenes for like another production crew. So that was a big way that I was able to get in on set and meet a lot of these people by doing that.
How was it working with Fab?
Fab's cool too. Like all of them is pretty cool. Like Fab, I never really had like a conversation with.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? But like been around him, and they all professionals. Like it's crazy. Like they just do them, and I love that. Like when you could work, that's how you know they true artists, when they just get in there and they doing them. Like I feel like a lot of these upcoming artists, or like people when they start, and they don't have that like stardust in them. It's hard sometimes because you trying to pry that shit out of them, and you get some people, they just come through and they just do what they do, you know, and bounce the creativity off of one another, and it's like the energy just align. I love that. So
You think it's hard being a woman in the film industry, or is it hard to be a woman in the film industry?
It's probably a lot though, I think.
it depends like on perspective. I think in the beginning I felt like it was harder. And I'll say it has its ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it just depends on how you move. You know what I mean? And always being professional. You know, just doing you, just speaking up, saying what you gotta say, doing what you gotta do. But I do think like, depending on the environment you're in, like I'll say, it might be easier for a guy to move around in like a more, what's the word? I don't want to say like hood, like kind of like, you know,
Different type of area, rough areas and things like that. It's a lot nighttime where it's a lot easier for them to get where you need to be at.
well,
And the
I
female?
just feel like guys, you know, sometimes they have just like that different kind of respect for one another, of just how they kind of talk, like, you know what I mean? So sometimes a guy might not necessarily acknowledge me. Like, I'll say where it's like, nowadays, like, I get at least a nod. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, you know, like, guys just off rip, somebody come in the room, they gonna dap you up. You know what I mean? So there's that. It's not like a big deal, but I know sometimes, like, you know,
Come in, how you doing?
come in, some guys won't necessarily say anything to you. But I think that's more so on like the kind of like a hood level or whatever.
The environment they came up in.
You know what I'm saying? Where, yeah, like I don't know. They just
Now, when people want to book, like, I know it ain't their job, but if somebody want to book you, it's your responsibility to fly out to wherever they are. Like, say they're across the damn world and they want to book you. You gotta make sure you gotta get all the way over there.
In the budget.
yeah, they gotta pay for that.
Oh,
I ain't
okay.
flying to hell
Oh,
no.
all right.
Yo, listen. In the budget, like Kilo said, there better be a line for travel. Alright, you gotta pay all the travel expenses, food, per diem in some cases. The per diem is where they give you money, petty cash to spend, because it's
Have
like
you been in situations
Eating
like that?
Oh, for
gas, you
sure.
know, all of that.
gas, like spending money. Because mind you, if I'm leaving my whole environment
Yeah,
to go to like Cali or something, now I have to spend money to be there. I can't cook. I gotta buy like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm home and whatever. So any money that I gotta spend to be here, you gotta pay for it. You know
Have
what
you
I'm
ever
saying?
been like gifted for like your work, like appreciation type, in like
Yeah.
some situations?
I've been gifted Yeezys before. You know what I'm saying? That LWD conference I was telling you about, the Leading Woman Defined. Ooh, they gave me the best gift bag I ever had in my life, bro.
Yeah.
What they give you?
So,
Yeah, what they give you?
so they gave
I wanna
us,
give back.
you know, y'all heard of Telfar, right?
Who?
Telfar bags, like the black designer, where his bags just went crazy, where everybody.
Teflon?
Teflon.
Yeah, that's my daughter has a.
Yeah, it got the T on the side.
Yeah, my daughter has like a yep.
So they gave us the giant one. It's like this big. Mind you, a little one probably cost you a couple hundred. They gave us a giant. Yeah. So when I went to the LWD conference, they gave us a giant Telfar bag, right? And not only did they do that, so all the sponsors. So we got some Puma gear. We got a whole Puma workout outfit, like the pants, the top. We got a freaking Oculus. What's that made by Google? The little VR headset, which is like $500 a piece. Everybody got one in the bag. I know, brother. I know. I was like, dang.
That's what's up.
Yeah. They put a bunch of products. Like, we got a bunch of free, like, shampoo, hair conditioner, face masks. Like, they give us snacks, popcorn, chips, like Blackbird subscriptions, like
Do you get
nail
noticed?
polish.
If you out and about, do you get noticed? Like, do you get like people notice like who you are from the work you do?
Yeah, it's mind blowing actually because I'm not even on that type of time where I'm trying to be seen. Like you know, like I had a point in time where I was literally trying to be invisible. Like I was wearing hoodies and sweatpants and stuff, and then I was like, dang kid, like nah, you can't be. You know what I'm saying? I want to pop out too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But so funny story. I'll tell you two quick stories. But one time I was on a train and I'm going to Trenton. You know what I mean? Because I'm about to go catch a flight. That's how I used to there's another airport in Trenton and they had just a better timing, so I would go take the train down there. And I'm on a train, and then like out of nowhere, somebody's like, "Yo, K, you K the creator, right? Seen you on the gram, blah blah." I'm like, dang, like my videos reach that far, you know, where people like literally, I'm just walking around minding my business, and people just spotting me and it's like, "Yo, I love your work," you know what I mean? And that's happened on many occasions. And then the one that really blew my mind was I went to Amsterdam. So I went to Amsterdam back in like 2019, and a couple people that follow me on the gram, you know, they saw I was out there. They in Germany, right? So Germany from Amsterdam is 4 hours. That's like from DC from DC to up here.
Mm-hmm.
They traveled from Germany to come kick it with me. We went to like the weed cafes. It was like, "Yo, we gonna show you around, blah blah." And then after that, I'm leaving the airport. There's some nigga like at the terminal. I'm like, I heard somebody say K, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna say K. This is talking about some other K. I'll keep walking. He like walked in front of me. I'm like, whoa. He like, "Yo, you K the creator, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yo, I just had to like catch you before you left." And I'm thinking like, dang, like I'm glad he just saw some showing love, because honestly, he could have snatched me up right then and there. Cause I'm like, how you even timed it to where, I guess he worked at the airport, so he knew that I had to go this one way because it's international and domestic. So to go back to the U.S., you gotta go through one way.
Yeah, international, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, how long was you there? Yeah, because you don't know what I could have been leaving at any time during the day. So that part was a little like, yo, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, he was all love, and he was like, "Yo, I love your videos, blah blah. I've been watching you. I wish we would have got a chance to link up, because I was there for like a week or whatever." And you know, he just like, I just showed up. I was like, "I'm gonna just see if I could catch you." And that was really, really inspiring, because you're talking about people across the world.
Yep.
Man, I knew she was lit when she took me to Miami to shoot her brother's video, and we trying to get in the nightclub. Yo, these dudes is letting dudes in, letting dudes pass, they won't let us in. And I'm like, yo, but she told us to go to that particular club. So, yo, my cousin K the creator. He was like, "Yo, sorry about that, right this way. Let us in." I'm like, wait, what? Then to me, that was deep, because you remember, like, Islands, CT.
So yeah, where's your
You know what I mean?
background?
Like,
What is your race, your nationality?
I mean, race is black. You know what I'm saying? I guess ethnicity, you say West Indian or whatever.
we crucial.
You know, we from the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix. So
Born
yeah,
and raised?
born, yeah, raised up until about 6 years old. Feel like we all kind of trickled up there around the same time. You came up, I think, a year or two later.
Couple years later.
But yeah, we came to Norwich, and you know, been here ever since, until I, you know, started venturing out, figuring out what I want to do in my life now. You know, I'm in Jersey, but
Do you get people that notice you in Jersey too?
yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Jersey in the film scene, like a lot of us know each other. You know, especially the people, because they see me. They see the same things y'all see. You know, half the time they think I'm in another. I was just in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta on Friday. So sometimes I'll like go places. I had to go location scout. I got probably the biggest shoot of my life. You know what I'm saying?
What's location scout? What is that?
So that's when you go, like, literally scout locations where you go visit it to see, like, they had already chose certain places. Sometimes you go and you just looking around seeing, like, what you could find. They already kind of identified the locations, and we had to go there and just see what everything looked like. And for me, why is that important for me is because now the treatment, right, which is the idea pretty much that the director or the producer gives of what they want you to do. Now you have to analyze that, look at what you're working with, the area you're working with, and say like, all right, how am I gonna like this? Where's the talent gonna be placed? set design. I gotta work with the set designers. Where are you gonna put this? What colors are you gonna use? You know what I mean?
So it's a lot to do when it comes to this type of work you do in your field.
Oh yeah, and that's a part of pre-production, which is so important. You have all that pre-production, pre-planning of how you're gonna do something, and then we just go execute it.
So man, anybody that's trying to get into like doing like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, they want to get a camera for beginners. What would be the best camera for somebody that's that don't have a big budget but want to get into the that field or want to get a camera?
There's so many good cameras right now that I feel like, for the most part, you won't go wrong no matter what you got. Some that I know have really stood out is like Fujifilm right now. You can get like the XH2, XH2S. They seem to really be coming up, with like that whole content. Canon is always good. You get you a R5. R5 is pretty decently priced. It also depends
Well,
on
not your
budget.
budget though.
No.
They did Reds and all that.
Yeah, we don't want your budget. We want,
What's the cheapest Red camera go for?
Well, you get the alright. So
10
there's
minutes.
still older, cause I mean the newest new red, because there's older red. So the Raven's probably gonna be the cheapest. But the Raven, they stopped making it, but you can still get it. So if you're talking about in terms of just in general of what they have ever made, you could get a Raven probably for like 4 bands. You probably get even an older Scarlet or some shit for
You got
for
Reds?
hella low. Yeah, I got a Komodo. But I say for the new line of Reds, the Komodo is gonna be the cheapest one you could get. But that's just, you only get the body. When you get these cinema cameras, all you get is the brain. You gotta put everything else together.
So you got to buy the lens and everything else. And
Yeah. Well, with every camera kind of, unless you got a kit, you gotta buy the lens. But you gotta buy the monitor. You know what I'm saying? You gotta buy like the trigger handle, to kind of hold it, and you're able to like press record. In some cases, depending on what kind of work you do, what you want, you could change the mounts. You could do a PL mount, which is like the more professional type of mount. More people use EF mounts. That's like Canon lenses. You gotta buy the batteries, either gold mount, V mount. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends how are you using it, that you have to pretty much build it out, like build your kit out. In the different pieces, the monitor. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get. So there's a lot of little pieces you gotta put together.
So what do you see yourself in the future with this type of work? Like, what do you see yourself doing a couple years from now? Or what do you want to do a couple years from now?
I'm still kind of figuring that out, honestly. But I know, I'm a DP. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to be hired,
It's gonna get higher and higher.
higher with that, with being a DP. But the thing with film is that there's so many different angles. Some people only shoot commercials. Some people only shoot films. Some people only shoot feature films. Some people only shoot short films.
Okay.
Some people only shoot documentaries. I do right now, I'm doing a little bit of all of that.
Okay.
So it's like,
What direction you going?
do I get specific and say, I'm only doing this?
Or just stay talented, just not
Or
involved.
do I kind of just still dabble? But I do want to like concentrate more and more, as I go. And I'm really interested in doing commercial work. I want to do more commercial work, and I want to do a feature
Bigger
film.
budgets?
Budget's been getting bigger every project, every
What's the
every
biggest
year.
budget you ever got?
Hmm.
If you don't mind me asking.
Don't hold back.
I mean, the biggest budget that I personally, like my company have gotten is still pretty small. You know what I'm saying? Like we deal with like $35,000 budgets here and there.
Yeah, pretty small. Yeah, pretty
No,
small.
that's-
So, alright, let me ask you a
That's
serious question.
small.
What's
That's
the
some
biggest,
paper.
like,
That's some paper.
what's the biggest budget you made on your own from the work you do?
Oh, the most I got paid?
Yeah.
Dang, bro. I mean,
That was, I know that number's big because you gave that.
you said we do 40 and all that.
I mean, you ain't got to give the exact number, like, you can give,
Which
like,
ballpark,
yeah.
in the $25,000,
To shoot a video?
yeah, just to shoot, because y'all want to give us you want to pay, right, for us to shoot, edit, plan, the equipment, locations, and all
makes
that
sense,
into
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Nah, that was just for me to shoot. That wasn't with paying nobody.
So they still got to pay you to edit it, and they still got to pay you to do all that.
But I didn't have to do none of that. That's
Okay.
that's one of the cases where I was hired by somebody else.
Okay.
And they had the editor and all the different components to where I didn't have to do all that shit.
Explain to them what you're doing now, like, because I know you were saying that you oversee a team of editors.
Oh yeah.
How does that work?
So I'm pretty much like expanding my company, and I like to shoot. My main thing is shooting. I don't have a problem with editing, but it's like, also think about it. If you open a store, you can't be a cashier
and still do inventory and still do this and do that.
Exactly. So
basically, boss can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah. And then I was like, if I have somebody focusing on editing, that means we could get more shoots in. I could shoot, and then I don't gotta worry about, all right, now I can't take this shoot because I gotta finish this edit. No, I keep shooting. I give the edits to different people. You know what I mean?
Now I see you be working with a lot of different people. We see the ads online and all that. Now if somebody really want to get into like acting or commercials or whatever, what the hell do you really got to do it? Because online they tell you to do this and do this and you can't get none. But I don't know if maybe you can elaborate on something like that, like a way for somebody that if they want to pursue an acting career, if they want to get into commercial, like what would be the best way to get in the commercial? Just pull up and just act out and just show your ass, or network,
not
or
necessarily commercials, or what he's saying. Elaborate on what he's saying too. Like, what advice would you give to young up and coming artists that's trying to like
get noticed,
and get their content out there?
So it really, really depends, because I mean, look at how Big Sean showed up at the radio station, right? And he rapped for Kanye, something like that. So it's like, I can't say any specific thing that will work, but you could just try different things and do what's more comfortable for you.
Yeah.
But again, all of this stuff aligns to showing up and being in the right spaces. So if you finding out, one thing with me that I would say, I've always somehow been connected with like just the inner works of wherever I was, whatever city I was in, I knew what was happening and when, and I showed up. So just show up, find out, connect with the people that's doing stuff.
That's the hard part.
The people that's doing productions. When I was trying to do this, I was showing up to people's video set. There was a director out here I found on Twitter. I'm hitting her up. What up? I wanna, she the one who shot CeeLo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm introducing myself. This is what I'm trying to do. I wanna get on set. You could be a PA and you could just lend a hand, or you could do behind the scenes, and you can, a lot of people want content now. So if you say you're gonna come film this shit and give them a video, they gonna let you in most of the time. But between those two, and then for being a actor, actress, that's a little bit different. I feel like for them, you just want to keep filming yourself doing stuff, whether it's a monologue, like if you go get a script and you just film yourself and you put it out so people can see, you send it to different directors and stuff like that.
You said you can do that on what?
You can put it on Instagram.
Oh, I thought you said like a monologue.
Oh, monologue. Yeah, that's when you read the script. It's just you, like, not you. And you can do it with other people.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, besides when sometimes you just gotta do shit on your own, right? Just get a script and you read the script, read it out, like act it out. Because you still, like, when you're trying to get casted, you still have to send those things to the casting agency, to like whoever. You still gotta send them things, so you might as well just do them and put them online anyway. Do skits.
That's what I do.
Do whatever shows your talent and put it wherever anybody gonna see. So YouTube, we actually we living in a time right now where you really got no excuse, man.
Yeah.
Because you can literally connect with somebody in China right now. Across Australia, like just by simply putting your stuff online. That's it.
Now, us doing interviews and podcasts, right, it usually works off who you know, for people to connect you to other people and this and that. Because nowadays, you just not who gonna get next to you to do this if that was your cousin? You know what I'm saying? So for us to get next to other people to do interviews, would it be hard for you to plug us up with them to do interview and let us talk to them and see if they'll let us do it? Like you just plug us in and we can introduce ourselves, ask them, boom, they say no, they say yeah, but you get what I'm saying, that we don't wanna use you as, you know, to get to them, but, you know, as use you to get to them and then we can talk to them.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's like who you know what I'm saying, and where you at. So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm like, why not? The least, the worst they could say is no.
No, you right, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So.
And this what we in right now, like a,
Where are we at, actually?
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely gotta show love. So
Yeah, let's like,
this is one of the spaces that I work out or sometime have connection to. It's called Express North. We got soundstage. We got this whole green screen psych. Off camera, you know, we got another area with a black backdrop, a white backdrop.
It's fire.
It's
They
lit.
got-
We got lights in the ceilings,
Yeah,
and we
they
shot
got-
here we shot a
They got
commercial
more
here.
computers in this room. There's more rooms. They got
Mics.
monitors everywhere. There's a whole nother back room full of equipment. We in
Editing.
we in $1 million.
this is actual studio.
This is like $1 million recording production.
So basically,
studio.
a room this like this, they can do a small acting scene right here.
Yeah. We shot, and I'm saying, like, if y'all want me to send you anything you want to insert or whatever and show them, we did some shit on here. We put
Yeah,
niggas
absolutely,
in the
definitely.
galaxy
On this?
on this.
That's fire.
So
This is fire.
yeah, we
Yeah,
shot it, we
yeah.
lit it, we
Big
got
lights
the
up
animator dude, you know, and he did his thing.
Now, is it hard to edit video? Was it hard for you to start editing videos, like learning it, or?
I won't say it's hard. It depends on you, whatever you think is hard. You know
how
what I mean?
It's how your brain works.
How
So-
much something like this right here cost to like rent if you wanted to do like a production in it?
I don't know how much they charge, but you know, I ain't saying no official numbers, cause I don't gotta pay for this shit. But something of this
See this one?
capacity usually gonna run you at least a good $200-300 an hour. You know what I'm saying? $200 an hour, yeah, I would say. You know, so.
This is fire.
Yeah.
Now, like, if you had to do another interview, right? I know you know about other interview people, podcasts. Who would you want to do an interview with?
I don't know. If you wanna ask me that. I mean, like on a. What's
You know,
his
they
name
got No
on-
Jumper, they got Drink Champs, they got $1 Million Worth of Game, they got
I like Drink Champs. I watch Drink Champs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, like I would be
Shout out
honored
to
to be
Drink
on
Champs.
Drink Champs. $1 Million Worth of Game is dope.
yeah, I love
too.
they show $1 Million Worth of Game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it'd be good to probably learn from them. Maybe we
Yeah.
discuss some things business wise, being an entrepreneur or something like that. I don't know how that conversation might go. And then another one that I like, actually, I don't know how much to the conversation I could bring, but 19 Keys is fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like him, his podcast. I feel like I learned a lot from.
I didn't see that one.
So
Yeah, I
I
see that
seen it
one.
once or twice. It's different.
I didn't see that one.
So, out of everybody you work with, who would you like to work with or try to work with in the future?
that's a long list of people for sure, but I want to work with SZA. Yeah, I mean, I was a ton of people I like to work with, but I really like SZA. You know what I'm saying? I want to work. So that's okay. So I know earlier in the interview I talked about not really doing too many music videos and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. I really love doing music videos, but at the same time, I know that when it comes to that and what I'm gonna be able to do in the creativity I'm gonna be able to pull, I need a certain type of artist.
Mm-hmm.
And then I need people that's willing to push the level, you know what I'm saying? Like push the content in terms of the story we're gonna tell, the visuals we're gonna tell. I don't really wanna be just showing up, shooting somebody standing on the corner, girls shaking their ass, blah, blah, right? And so right now, I feel like that's a lot of what, like, would come to me, so I kind of just stop. Now, when you're dealing with, like, a Kendrick Lamar, you know, like, people who's telling certain stories, like, you see their videos, you know, they put a lot into that art direction. A lot of these artists, they want to hire you for video. They don't want to put nothing into art direction.
Mm-hmm.
They barely put anything into their styling and their clothes they wear. They might just go buy a pair of jeans and a t-shirt,
Mhm.
which is okay for a regular day. But think about it. You're an entertainer. People, rock with your lyrics, but you telling that story visually, like the music video is supposed to bring out everything visually, the lighting, the colors. So I need to work with artists that's gonna push the envelope in that way, and that comes with like higher budget too, and just how the artists think. So it's like for me, I want to work with Nas, like I want to work with Lauryn Hill, like I'm working with Jim right now. We're gonna do some crazy stuff. But
Shout
like
out to Jim Jones.
everybody, man, like.
Have you ever worked with Fat Boy?
Nah, I never worked with Fat Boy. I interviewed, so I used to film these interviews, for this lady. Her name was Lady Ola, and we interviewed him or whatever. So and I've been around him. He's from here, so
Yeah.
like I've been around him. We was at South by Southwest and everything, and it even goes back to like when you asked me earlier about people recognizing me. And I think you asked me something about like just in Jersey if I'm known. He know, like he seen me walking.
So he know you.
Yeah,
like he's gonna talk like.
That's how I got the number. I booked him and brought him to Modelo's years ago.
Okay.
I called her and she was like, I want to book Fat Boy. And she was like, I just bumped into him a couple minutes ago. I'll call you right back.
Yeah.
Voila.
So like I'm not saying like we tight or anything like that, but like
Y'all know each
niggas
other.
acknowledge me.
Yeah.
So I seen him at South by Southwest. He the one who was like, yo, you came blah blah, cause he seen me around. He's like, yo, you about to go to Biscuit shit blah blah. I'm like, yeah, cause I had my camera. I was just about to go to the event, cause South by Southwest. He's like, yo, I'm gonna call up my mans or whatever and make sure like we get you backstage and all this stuff. And so like he actually did that, you know what I'm saying? But like I was chilling, so I ain't really
Shout
like.
out to Fat Boy and Lung Smackers, man. We
do
trying
too
to
much.
Trying to
review
get
that.
next to you,
We trying to review that Lung Smackers too, man. Jim, you too. We trying to review that knockout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to review that. Let us know, man. For real.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's just cool like how people show love. Like not everybody show love, but Fat Boy definitely like he ain't passed me straight. And I feel like if he saw me now, like he know who I am, so I don't see why he would do that now either. But
You post any of your work like just besides Instagram? Do you use any other platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Twitter?
Nah. So I ain't like everybody else when it comes to that stuff. Like I will say like I was thinking about maybe getting on TikTok a little bit or whatever. But I put myself on Vimeo. That's where a lot of creators let their stuff live. I don't always make it public, you know what I mean? But I'll put out myself on Vimeo, so when people ask me, I send them the link or whatever. And you just gotta realize that like there's just different sides to this, right? And I'm one of the few people that I'll say can thrive without necessarily having to put stuff online, like having to put stuff on Instagram. I don't rely on Instagram to get booked.
You're not a social media person. Like you got you
not.
got the fame, but you don't need to let the whole world know. Like if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Type. That's
Work speaks for itself.
I see where you're coming from. Yeah, because your Instagram, I see you got like 5,000 something like, but you got bit. You don't put it on there. So if you really was one of the people that put me on here, your follow would be way bigger. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like I could, and I mean, I'll probably at some point like.
I'm surprised they ain't blue check you yet. Well, they didn't put the application on there.
Yeah, I ain't going for it yet, but
you definitely.
At some point, like I might decide to. I'll definitely like fill up my channel more. I have a lot of content that I haven't.
I hope you put us up on here.
So is there a plus? Is it a plus having a blue check?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
What's the
I
plus?
guess.
What's the plus with a blue check?
You figure for me, say she's blue check and you hit her up, you're gonna get a hold of her. That's your cousin. For me to hit her up, she might not even see it. She might just overlook it. But for another blue check to hit her up, you think a blue check's gonna hit another blue check back? Probably more likely. It might be about business, but for like a regular person hit a blue check, they can be like, what he want? You know what I mean?
I think they get different like incentives though. Yeah, like they get their shit like shown more. Like the algorithm's different. You know what I mean? I haven't really looked into it like that because again, like I don't really like not to down nobody or whatever. People who really focus on that shit, but like for me, I just been focusing on my craft, and like tapping in with like
I just know a little. My
the
daughter
people
blue
in
check.
the background. You know what I mean? And eventually, like, you know, I'll blue check or whatever. But
Shout out, talk to your Devon on
you know,
TikTok. Yeah.
yeah, for now, I'm just focused on like, cause you know what's crazy? It's all about perspective, right? So
Mhm.
some niggas could have a blue check. Some people could have 100,000 followers. Ain't got no money in their bank account.
Yeah, cause you figure a lot of people that's in the industry, some people be thinking they got money, but the car don't be theirs, the house don't be theirs, the money be prop, the jewelry be fake. But we don't know that because basically we could supported them, so we like, damn, they living good. But in all reality, that's not the case.
A lot of that should be fake.
Yeah.
They don't got the people on speed dial. I got on speed dial. So that's why I'm like, I don't even really be like, shout out to Instagram, but like, that shit, you use it
You
as
just
a
don't
tool.
use, yeah.
You can use it as a tool. When I first started, I was using it a lot more because I needed that attention. You know what I'm saying? I needed that. I don't want to say
Notary.
clout, but just like people
Clout,
to see what I'm doing, and not to say I don't need people to see what I'm doing, but I just have different platforms. So, like for example, film festival. We put our shit in the film festival. There's a whole there's like production. I'm talking about major production companies, major like showrunners and stuff like that. Like people that's working in the industry, that's laying eyes on that, and then just regular like you could buy a ticket to the film festival. Like people seeing it from
Where they
all
have
over
those
the
at?
world. There's film festival in every city. Every city,
It's
every
not down.
every country.
You know, we are is dead.
I mean, they got the Whaley Awards or some shit like that, don't they? Right?
The who?
Whaley, some shit they do.
I think it's like in
London.
London, yeah.
You know
The
what I'm
talent
saying?
show?
No, not they do some type of award. They do. It's not really a talent show, but they do a talent show. But it's not really a talent show. I think they give away like an actual
Awards?
like film
Oh, wait,
awards.
I
Yeah,
thought-
they got something down there. It
Oh,
might
I
not
don't
be
know.
that popular, but I don't know. Y'all got something. But out here, you know what I'm saying? We got the New York Film Festival. New York, you got Tribeca. Like, the certain shit that we doing is like national. So, like, with the film festivals, you fuck around and say, like, Tribeca or Sundance. So, you remember Michael B. Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
You know he from Newark.
I didn't know that.
So, he was acting in films that was in film festivals, and they was getting in bigger festivals, and they was winning awards. So, if you remember, that first one that really took him off was Fruitvale Station. Fruitvale Station was like $100,000 film or something like that somebody did out in Oakland about the Fruitvale Station, you know, the whole police brutality. That film won at Sundance. Sundance is one of the biggest film festivals.
That's the one where the kid got like a gang member got killed, shot
He
by a
got
cop.
shot by a cop or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But if your shit's in Sundance, bro,
Yeah.
you talking about the major film companies?
And that ended up on Netflix.
Yeah.
It ended up on Netflix.
But before that shit was in theaters.
Oh yeah.
They got a movie deal.
So that blew him up.
You could get a movie deal
Yeah.
from these. That's why I'm like, all right, I ain't need no movie deal off of Instagram.
Well, shit, give me a movie there. All right, yeah.
So why, you know what I'm saying? And then for me, I guess my biggest thing with that was that like, they also have the rights to use your stuff. Anything you put on Instagram, if you look at the user agreement, and I mean, I'm not saying it's not the worst thing ever, but they do have rights to use your stuff. So I would never put certain things on there, and I would never put the whole body of work. I would use it for promotional purposes. Put a little snippet, whatever. Put a little 30-second, send them to YouTube and monetize your shit. You know what I mean? Now they giving people money for reels, but that just started, right?
Yeah,
They
you
weren't
pay
doing
off
that shit like.
I think
You know?
they just started paying me $10 a reel.
So imagine
Something like that.
you had 1 million views
Yeah.
back, let's say 5 years ago, and you ain't got no check.
That's
Why
crazy.
am I putting this shit on
Yeah,
Instagram?
that's true.
And then they could take the same shit if they want and use that shit for a commercial or whatever they want. They could use your content. They got the rights to use your content
And don't pay you $1.
and don't pay you $1. So, you know, that
Oh,
was
well,
one
the
thing.
only way they can't use it is once you get a manager. That's what my daughter went through too. Like now, if somebody shares their shit or do something with their shit, pay up them buckets.
I mean, now they got monetization.
Yeah.
Before there wasn't. That
Yeah,
shit wasn't in the user agreement. So even if you had a manager, it ain't matter. You would just have to take somebody to court. But you know, I don't want to take the fun out of it. Use Instagram. Like, there's nothing wrong with Instagram. It's just like business wise. Like for me, for somebody who, if I was making little, you know, just little videos and stuff that was geared towards that. Like if I wanted to start a skit or something like that, you know what I'm saying, some type of show, I may decide to use Instagram to promote it. I might put little snippets of whatever I'm doing just so, because I know I could get it out to a larger audience. But I'm not putting my film on Instagram. Before they let you put as much as you want Instagram story and shit, I'm not putting my film on Instagram.
So I heard you say your own short film now. Is that something that you have in mind already?
So right now, like I said, I'm a DP, so it's like I'm working off of other people's scripts. Like people give me scripts. So I have like at least 2 scripts right now. I have a feature film script. We probably gonna get a nice 6 figures for that budget, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much just like waiting on my mans, you know, cause I'm the shooter, so it's like I'm not a writer.
So what me and Kill got to audition.
No, but what we can do is, I was talking to her about it before. We can come up with our own short film, and she'll help us. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of writing with all that.
It ain't about the writing; it's easy.
Or you get a writer if you want to.
You
That's
just
the
tell
thing.
the
tell
writer.
them the story.
It's
You just gotta share the residuals, the ownership with the writer.
That's it.
You know.
But we can write it ourselves. If we don't write it, we just shoot it ourselves. We know we do. Get it done. Get it done.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I mean, I do want to write something. I think if I write something though, it's just gonna be like a short piece, cause you could do like a 5-minute short film. Like I'm not trying to necessarily write like how like writers write. Like I'm writing a whole script. Like I would just write it just to do something, like just to produce something, and maybe get some. Like I have some ideas, you know what I mean. So if I'm not taking it to the level of like, well, I want to have like, if I'm gonna do something I want to get in like films, like on the cinema, I'm gonna hire a writer, or you know my man's Yusef, he's the writer director. So he writes.
Oh, yeah?
He got all the scripts. You know, I shoot it. Zara and the Oil Man. He wrote that shit. I shot it. You know what I mean? We shot a couple things, but you know, the thing with film is like developing your story and how you want it to come out. So some of this stuff we've done, but we just haven't put it out.
Plus you gotta make sure you on that camera, you acting out right, cause you don't wanna get on camera and look dumb as hell. Like.
Oh yeah, you know. That's why you got the directed people.
We need to get into that. Definitely get into that.
You got your creative producers and shit. You know,
Yeah.
That's why you got all these different people on a crew, and that's why the budgets be higher. Cause like you gotta hire different people. It's just better. More minds is better than one nigga trying to do 25 jobs.
No, you're right.
Like,
you're right.
You know.
You're right, and that's right. Like right now, that's how we working. Like it's me and Kill, but we would love to have like 2 other people, somebody that can, the camera, and another person that's like what we doing right now. Give him the video. It take him 30 minutes. Watch the video and then edit. Boom, boom, and it's done. It's up.
I have one of those, man. You know who you are. I'm looking for you.
But we need somebody.
But y'all doing good, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is a good start. And honestly, I feel like at the beginning when you do it yourself, it's good because you got to experience it.
Yeah,
you
that's
got
what I
to
was
do
saying.
it.
Yeah.
So you know how you want something. You got that experience. So you not directly like, yo, do this. This is how I want the light hit. Bam. And they do it. Sometimes when you are ignorant to stuff, right? People could kind of just do whatever they want, and you don't want that. You know what I mean? Just people
That's
telling
why he'll
you
tell
shit.
you, like, that's what I was telling him. I was like, we cousins.
Yeah.
We don't want just anybody with our team, because it could take something to really go good and that person turn around and just. I was on that video and I want XYZ off, instead of like, yo, let's work together. Let's just see if we got a hit video. Let's just make another hit one. Let's make, and you know what I mean?
That's
Where we live at, people, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but you from down there, ain't nobody down there trying to support. Like I was trying to say, now you see everybody that you know really fuck with you. He was like, what you mean? I said, look how many subscribers we got on YouTube, 28. How many people scream at your boy? That's my homeboy, kill my homeboy. We got 28 subscribers. That go to show you that everybody that's telling him they're your people. They lying. They use you for what they
Because
use.
it's like, it don't take much to push a button.
You know what I mean? And the
So
crazy thing about it is,
bothering nobody, you know what I mean? Like,
and on YouTube, we know who subscribes. It tells you.
yeah, so you can't tell us that.
I'm subscribed. I know that.
Yeah,
shit.
matter of fact, shout out channel. Let them know what channel you want.
Yeah.
What, let us know. It's the podcast.
It's the
RollUp.
RollUp.
Yeah, there you go.
860.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We tapped over here. We came out to Jersey. She didn't have to. She took out her time to let us get interviewed.
She's
We
a
probably-
busy woman, man.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? So,
But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna have part 2. Any video we drop, we got a part 2 coming to it. So just know that. All right. This is Mel TV
DJ Kilo.
and our special guest
K the Creator.
on what podcast?
The RollUp.
Tell
Let's
people
talk
where they can
about
find
it.
you.
You can find me on Instagram, K the Creator with a K. You
Talk
know?
that shit.
You can
Yeah.
find me on YouTube. Honestly, you just type in K the Creator on Google. There's gonna be hella other shit that pop up.
With a K.
With a K.
With a
Make
K.
sure that budget is right before you attempt.
Absolutely.